Hey, wow, that was fast. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the screen long enough. It's going well, a little bit longer than I thought. I had a longer talk with my mom. Hey, Dylan, how's it going? For those of you who were here last time, I, right after I went off a lot, I had a lady who pump faked me and turning right, and I almost ran into her, and so I leaned on my horn, and she decided to catch up with me and give me the finger, which I thought was hilarious because, you know, like, who cares if a stranger gives you the finger? I don't care. Hey, James, what's going on? So when we get these fronts that come through Florida, it's always warmest before the storm. So it's like still 76 here, and it was 82 today, and or 83. It's going to be chilly tomorrow. I think it's the last real kind of like, well, high of 67. What's the haps? That reminds me from the song "No Diggity" from who sang that song? I can't remember. Snowing Hard. But yeah, that's it. Blackstreet, No Diggity, no doubt. And I was in like 7th or 8th grade when that came out. My friend would sing that to me, and I would tell him to stop because I thought it was a little bit odd. I mean, it's not a bad song. It's just, yeah. I don't know how old everyone is, so I didn't know if people didn't know about that song. So, but I remember I used to have quite the sound system in my vehicle, and that thing, I know that I can always remember the songs that would kick the most bass, and that was definitely one of them. Yeah, that's the kind of weather that's, you need to get those 50, 60-degree temps in the wintertime for a Sable Miner to really be like out in the open, unprotected. It can't just be like 35 for like a month straight. It has to get up in there. They have to kind of see a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, stereo in the Camaro, yeah. It depends on what your potted palms are. High 30s are fine, unless you have really tropical plants. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. At 42, I only brought in some seedlings that hadn't even put up a leaf yet. And I mean, I only did that because they were really expensive, in case I lost a couple. I had an 88 Bronco with 215s in the back. So I remember anything from Busta Rhymes, what's it called? A lot of Outkast, Rosa Parks by Outkast. That song had some insane bass to it. It has some. The Frozen Struggle Bus. Yeah, when that CD came out, I was in 9th or 10th grade, and I had just gotten my first car. You guys might find this hilarious, but I probably own as many cars as I am years old. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have. My first car was I actually had this 79 Ford Fairmount wagon that I would drive around. It was just given to me. Oh, you do have a good bunch of vinyl? I've been thinking about collecting some of that. 86 IROC. That's got to be cold in the winter, though. T-tops on, but my first. I'm trying to think. I had a '79 Ford Fairmont that burned so much oil. I think the car just like stopped working, and then I'm driving on Center Road. I take a little back way down River Road to 41. 776 would be a fun route, but it'd just take me a little bit, like an extra 20 minutes. Oh, you still have an 86 IROC? I would hold on to it. Those things are only going up in value now. IROC had a 305 throttle body, right? Injection? TBI? Pretty sure. They were kind of like dogs for horsepower because of the emissions situation, but that's still pretty nice. I guess I've told you guys I had an 83 TPI, yeah, throttle port injection, whatever it is, yeah. That's cool. You still have it. Like I said, I had a '79 Ford Fairmont. I didn't have a stereo in that, but I had it. Then I had a '75 BMW 530i with 345,000 miles on it. The gas pedal stuck to the floor sometimes. And then I had first car I had it in stereo and was an '82 Toyota Celica. And I remember driving that thing out to the country in Virginia, hanging out with my girlfriend. They both my friend and her girlfriend sat in the back of this like tiny ass Celica coupe, and I had one headlight. I got pulled over more times than I'd like to. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's not a little bit. It's not like, you know, for the year, it's pretty decent horsepower, but like compared to today's Camaros, obviously. So, I found that after my Mustang, I found that the only way I was really going to get into was to get a motorcycle. So I bought a Suzuki SV 650S. I like the Street Fighter bikes. The racing bikes are just like, yeah, the IROC. I bought a 2006 SV 650. I'll hold that story because this is a palm dog. I don't want to like keep us not keeping talking about palms, but I'll tell you, motorcycle Caravan is more horsepower. Yeah, it does. Those won't do well this time of year, Parker, in Southern California. They don't even do well this time of year in Florida, most parts of Florida. You won't see, it's hard to see a mature Ricca Vestiaria unless you're in the Keys. I don't even see them doing that well, like even in Fairchild. They just seem to kind of like they kind of suffered for a couple months. So I keep them nice and humid and that sort of thing. But yeah, I had a 2006 Suzuki SV 650S. My friend had one. I'm like, oh, this is nice. So I got one. He had a blue one. I had a red one. We'd ride together. And I remember going on 75, Interstate 75. I could get from exit 191 to exit 182. Take the curve there, going like 110. I would never do that now, though. Yeah, I keep them indoors. Spray them a little bit of water. Definitely, Aricas and Penangas, Parker, are the kind of palms that definitely want to keep their leaves moist. They tend to get kind of water from the canopy trees dripping down from above. So, weird grass tree native to Australia. I have been, James, I actually used to work on Montgomery property, so yeah, I've been around Montgomery quite a bit. 47 miles an hour down this road is killing me. I swear if this light turns red, something's getting broken. Oh my God. Slow ass motherfucker. Dylan, I haven't been to Dry Tortugas. My friend Ken goes fishing there a lot. The thing about it is, like, there's nothing really there if you're not fishing. You don't have a reason to you know, you got to have a decent sized boat to go out there. It's like 60 miles west of Key West. There's no amenities, so you got to bring everything with you. And there might be like a state park ranger there, but there's no like food, water. I haven't done any videos on the property there just because I have not gone. I haven't been on the property in quite some time. The last time I was at Fairchild, you guys might find this funny. So I had a bunch of like these flyers that were like free day passes to Fairchild, and I had literally like thousands of them. Just I could just keep on printing them and print them. They're already printed when I was there, but I would when I left my quote severance package, I just took like a whole stack of them, like 300. You know, which is, it costs $25 to get in, so I just gave them away to friends. You know, just wrote my name on it with a date, you know, like predated it, and so I kept on writing them to myself and just letting myself in, because I didn't want to pay for their membership is like a lot more than your average garden. So, and the last time I was there was in 2012, 2013, and I couldn't. Then I lost the free passes, but when I was there, it was kind of like, I don't know, I just didn't find it as interesting. Like, there's the passion that I enjoyed working out. Now this guy made me miss this fucking light. Anyway, yeah, I wish I still had them. Man, I would just mail them out to you guys. Everyone get a free pass. I don't know if they would take them anymore, but anyway, Tennessee Keys. Okay, it sounds good, man. I'll take you up on that offer if I'm in Tennessee. Some seeds, man. I used to collect any seeds I wanted on Fairchild property, and pretty much anything I wanted on Montgomery, as long as they weren't doing something with it already. Hey, Market Q, I got your email back. I read it. I was at my mom's. I didn't get a chance to respond because I didn't want to ignore, you know. Yeah, the Tortugas is pretty cool. You know, it was kind of abandoned because they call it dry Tortugas because there's no fresh water there. That's why it's not really inhabited. I'm doing pretty good. I could use a little more sleep. Whenever I'm in Venice, I never really sleep as much as I'd like to. Now, James, the sables are fine. It's the tropical seedlings that you really have to worry about. So if you have a tropical, the Royals actually, you could spray them if you want, if you have any, but how does this guy fucking take off on me? My car has a way more acceleration than that thing does. He must have just floored it. I mean, I just floored it to get him to 65, and it's like he's still going. This is a terrible place to speed. Oh well. Now you can get the ticket. No problem. Do you want me to call you by your name your name on the email, or do you like Market Q? Yeah, I just can't afford to get like a reckless driving ticket. Not that I have a driving record, I'm not paying. Okay, James, I'll see you later. Yeah, it is very expensive in the Keys in season. Best thing I might be able to offer you is stay at my buddy's place at Ken's in Miami if you wanted, and then we could visit. He lives about 15-20 miles from Key Largo, and you can see the Keys there. You can also see a bunch of hell of a nice specimen palms. Okay, I just figured it was easier, but Is it pronounced Shiv or Sheev or Shiv? Yeah, when I'm driving, it I can focus on that. I usually, because I have to focus on the road. I can't, when I'm at my house, like I'm really easily distracted. But I got I got that vlog in today. I got another vlog in besides the pygmy date. That was actually at my mom's like long-term care place. I thought I was gonna get like yelled at for filming in a. That's a Save-A-Lot now. Wow. Used to be a Walgreens. I've never seen a Walgreens close down, but it did. How far is Tampa? Lord Shiv. Okay. I am when I'm in Venice, I'm about an hour and 15 minutes from Tampa. When I'm in Cape Coral, where I live, I'm about 2 hours and 10 minutes from Tampa. About 120, about 200 kilometers from Tampa there. And Parker, I actually had Iphanies Horta. I know someone that has them. I actually sold my seedlings to him. He's not the cheapest guy, but it's a cool plant. I mean, I wish I had. Why are we not going here? I see. Yeah, so I can talk to him about it. It'd be like a 1 gallon size. I'm just warning you. I mean, it's extremely spiny. When I worked at Fairchild, I actually had a girlfriend who was a graduate student at Florida International University, which is in Miami, and she was in the doing tropical plant biology as her master's, and she had to go to the Caribbean and collect Iphanies species and compare them to see if there was any like different species that need to be newly named. So she was in Barbados and a lot of the Lesser Antilles, and I used to have Iphanies aculeata, or that she had given me, wild collected, pretty cool, and then it died in a freeze 2 years later, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, he might want like $25 for the 1 gallon, which is overpriced. I mean, I'll just tell you that right now. Like, why is this guy got his reverse lights on? It makes me nervous. People, it's 45. Let's just do the speed limit for once. One time, come on. It's from Ontario. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to get around these slower drivers that won't get out of my way. Yeah, I think I have a Queen Palm vlog. I'm pretty sure I do. It's killing me here. that, buddy. You can sit and tailgate that guy. If I don't have a queen, do I? Yeah, he's from Ontario. I'm glad you enjoyed the surprise. I know I need to make more videos. The problem is, can you guys think of any common palms that I have not made a video of? I'm pretty sure I made a video of queens. A lot of my older videos I'm not as happy with because they're just, I don't know if I really spoke on them as well as I wanted to. I never did a specimen review. Wow. See, as a YouTube vlogger, like I obviously want to get more views, and I need to do like a legitimate queen palm video. I realized someone had asked me to do it multiple times, and I thought that they were just asking for like a secondary vlog, and I should probably apologize to him because I kind of told him like I'd do it when I had the time. I had that palm in my front yard I should do. And I'll just do that. I mean, I've been looking to like, you know, do a bunch of videos. There's plenty of stuff to do. Tobacco belt. There's a tobacco belt in Canada? I don't know if I've done a Reef SVR or not. I thought that I had done it, a smaller one. There really aren't a lot of bigger specimens to do it with, though. Oh, here we go. We open up right here. Getting out of the way of all that is slow. Oh, I will. Trust me. I give my opinions on the plants. As you can see, that my most hated vlog is my Canary Island date vlog. What is that? Concrete? That's something cage. I don't use it during germination, but if I suspect that like palm seeds have some living, you know, any bacteria or fungus, I will soak them. Or they're old, and I had a customer that wanted me to send them seed from another place and also buy seed from me, so I told them sure, and I received seed that I thought was in poor condition, and someone had tried to mask it by like put a cloth in it. It was kind of, anyway. I sold that, actually traded that palm for partial dental work with my dentist. I'm on a bartering system with a lot of my like professional, like I have an electrician, a dentist, a doctor, what else? A veterinarian. What else do I barter? I'm trying to think of other services I bartered for. Pawn shop. I've traded a lot of palms for silver, gold, and guns. Shiv, I would love that. That is a great idea. I was actually going to ask if anyone could do that for me, because I do need a website for my seeds and for my consultation, and people ask me all the time. So let's definitely do that. I would be happy to do that. I have a friend that does websites, but he wanted way too much money for it, and he's a poker friend, so I know he's always going to try and shaft me. I just don't really trust most of my poker friends. Yes, Bobby. Sables, all sables will come up with heels when they're in a pot. When they're growing in the ground, you won't really see the heel as much. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's because they don't feel constricted in the ground. But the heel is essentially a way of it's kind of like, think of it as like the quarterback of the palm. Like, it makes the decisions, it makes the plays, it determines where the roots go. And you can't play football out of quarterback, and you can't grow a palm that has a heel if you destroyed her. 5 pounds of catfish, or I don't know if it would make it. I'm not much. I don't really eat that much catfish. I don't really have like a. I'd probably like deep fry it, but I don't have a deep fryer. Okay, we still here? Yeah, I have no problem doing that. Shiv. Saturn Ion. I don't know. That area is kind of like sketchy with cell reception, because it's kind of like a area that they just, I don't know. There's not a ton of people that live there, but it just kind of cut out. Look at, we got the police. This gas station right here. The day before I left for Irma, I drove down to Ashley and pleaded with her, begged her to come with me, bring Emma. I was not living there at the time. And I had to make sure I kept like my gas tank full, so I went there to just kind of top off and fill up a gas tank to give to her too, in case, she ran out. And some guy tried to cut me off to get in the line, and then he started yelling at me a lot. He was definitely willing to throw down, but I was not in the mood. It was one of those situations where if he decided to, when a hurricane, the tension kind of goes up, and he was ready to come over and like attempt to beat my ass, which wasn't going to work out very well for him. So. Something had him all riled up. Yeah, okay, Shiv, let's do it. For sure. I really, that's a step that I've had to take in my business, and I appreciate the offer. Let me, yeah, making a playlist, Dylan, is a good idea. I need to kind of look into that, like how to do that. I'm sure it's not that hard. I just haven't done it. I'd feel bad if I tried to like sell. I don't know if I have enough viewers to sell merchandise. I just don't want to. I don't want people to feel like there's a lot of YouTubers out there that show their viewers on merchandise, and I don't want to be that guy. It's like I actually have a book that's mostly written about palms. I just haven't finished it up. I have written another book about my poker life, and that kind of took precedence because I had a lot of people. I had a movie producer call me up from California saying he wanted to make a film, and then I was like, I don't even know if that's going to work because there's already a number of films about poker. He's like, well, this is a little different. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I mean, I just, he wanted to do it, and I told him it was fine, but I just never really heard back from him, so I'm just about finished with that. So this is driving me nuts. 3 lanes, none of them which are going the speed limit, but all going different speeds. Oh, you did? Okay, great. Yeah, I'm on. By dwarf sugar, do you mean Arenga Ingleri? Well, I don't think they would have. I don't think I would have been the actor. Someone else would have played me. The guy said he claimed you could have gotten like A-list celebrities to get it going, but I don't know. You know, people in Hollywood, they will talk a lot, but their actions are too good to be true. Probably. Usually is when you have to ask that question. I have not had an Arenga Ingleri that I could have vlogged yet. It's common in Central Florida, not so much in South Florida. There's some in botanical gardens, but it's worth. I mean, it's definitely worth doing a vlog. I think it's a very underutilized palm. It's a great hedge palm, really cold hardy. If you can't grow lutescens like Auricas, or you can't even grow fishtails, it's a dwarf palm that clumps and provides that sort of thing to it. And the only downside is it's a little bit like untidy when you have to trim the trunks, but that's really not that big of a deal. Who is Howes? That sounds familiar, Zach. Where have I seen Howes? Is he a YouTuber? I swear I've seen that name somewhere. Yeah, I know Shivit in I know that there's a Bollywood, you know, like in Mumbai. Or is it? I don't know. Maybe it's not in Mumbai. Like follow actors. I think that some are considered like godlike. I think that some are really cool. Like I like Gordon Ramsay. I think he's an interesting character. I don't really. I wouldn't go to like any extremes. You can always trim them up because, you know, they're clumpers. So if you need to cut off a trunk, you can do that. Plant website. Yeah, no Phoenix are going to thrive in Tennessee. I'll tell you that. But that's okay. That's where I've heard. I don't know where they got that idea, where they got that inclination from, but definitely not true. It's fake news. Oh, okay. It's a forum. Okay. Is it a plant? Is it a yeah? Is it a palm forum house? Or they have it's like a Reddit. Yeah, Palm Talk is a great place for forums, for, you know, to discuss palms. Sometimes it's very like California heavy / Florida heavy, and then there's some cold hardy stuff, and then there's some Australian talk. There's also a Spanish forum for people, you know, for Spanish speakers, because it's the second most widely spoken language, or third. I think, kind of Portuguese spoken. I think Spanish is spoken. Okay, it's more landscaping. Okay, you trim a frond halfway and use sealing wax to preserve it and keep it ready. I don't know. I've never tried it. I would imagine there's a good chance it would work. And I think it depends on the species. The more waxy the species, the more, like, a tropical palm is not going to be as likely to take to that as a subtropical palm that tends to have a more waxy leaf than the other ones that have much more papery leaves that can transpire moisture. Part of what makes palms like wind hardy, for example, is the fact that they have a waxy coating or a glossy coating that keeps the moisture in the leaf. For example, palmettos dry up because the wind can dry the palm up and kill it in a dry, hot wind. And you've got these hot, dry winds, like say in California, the palm can handle the temperatures, but that dry wind will destroy arecas, panangas, a lot of that stuff that people would want to grow otherwise. Yeah, you can do a community pot with. I would recommend doing a community pot. They work very well with the parlor palm shiv. I should have gotten a soda. I might still get a soda. I know I'm going to Wawa. I mean, that's kind of a given, but that's okay. I got the idea of what you were. I don't know the answer. I think that some palms would do well. I mean, I've cut off cycad leaves, for example, and I left them on the ground for like 2 months, and they never turned brown. They seal themselves off. They have a sap inside them called psychosin. If you're trimming a sago and you see that sap, if you touch it, definitely wash your hands. It has a neurotoxin in it. It can also damage your liver. Come on, man. Usually I can go much faster than the. Oh, it's killing me here. When you gotta pass the guy in the slow man. The stem in between the leaflets. You want to like cut half a frond off, like just to use as like decoration. I mean, people do use palm fronds for decoration. They'll hold for a little while, even without sealing it. Yeah, why not cut me off? No big deal. No big deal, right there, buddy? This guy's holding both hands on the wheel like he's about ready to crash a fucking airplane. Okay. Relief treatment for winter. What do you mean by that? So dry. I would just have a spray bottle with that had like water / an anti-transpirant. You don't have to use an anti-transpirant. But just make sure you keep the leaves, give the leaves some moisture. And you want to use, one thing you can do in the wintertime to kind of, when you have a potted palm that doesn't get really like the opportunity to drain out, so to speak, you can actually kind of use like some real pure water and like get all those salts out of there, because that can cause all that mineralized water can just kind of like harden in the soil, and you actually want to get that to leach out and you want to free up the roots the ability to take up nitrogen and breathe properly. So sometimes you call it like a cleansing, if you will. Drought shield. Yeah, I've never heard of that, but it sounds like it would work. Manganese deficiency. So manganese is actually one of the easier ones to identify, because basically if the palm on the top of the crown gets like it's called frizzle top, it gets kind of frizzy and looks kind of like short and stunted. I actually have a video made about a year and a half ago. Wait, let me see. 18. No, God, 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. Of of a queen palm with manganese deficiency. If you type it in, you can see what I'm talking about. Talking about. Yeah, distill water. Just and then you want to like. It's kind of like a cleansing. Kind of I don't know. Kind of like getting your palm an oil change, like in a car, like after it's been sitting for a while. Because all those minerals they don't get to really like pour out anywhere, and you have that the pot is the only soil that the palm gets to see. It can't venture out of the pot, so these drives in season are killing me. Dehumidifier water? I don't really know what's in there. I would imagine it'd be fine though. It's just water vapor from the air, so today's Tuesday. Yeah, so no, the stream will just cut off for some reason. I don't know what happened there, but hopefully you guys make it back. I'm just going into Walgreens to get a soda. Okay. Yeah, I restarted my phone. I don't know why it does that. It seems to do it once every stream. I don't know. If my stream was still running, it seemed like YouTube cut it off. Who knows? I'll be right back, guys. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. Hmm. on one sec, guys. Hold on one sec. All right. Wow, I made it in May of 2016. Really? That long ago? Monrovia Nursery. Oh. So at the moment, I'm germinating Livistona alfredii and a bunch of sable species. And I'm pretty sure I have a very cool variety of the African oil that has entire leaves to it. It's actually a mutation. So looking forward to that. Yeah, so those trees are strangler figs. They're actually in the ficus family, Dylan. Yeah, that sounded about right. So, one thing I didn't mention on this channel is that, have I talked to you guys about how I don't necessarily get along very well with Ashley's mother? That's okay. You know, I've killed so many seeds and seedlings. Yeah, so from like June till December of 2017, so manganese, you might have to find it somewhere special, but Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. Yeah, so I had a falling out with Ashley's mother around Thanksgiving of 2016, and things were kind of rocky with her, and then we had an argument where I actually was gone for 6 months, and you guys probably see a lot of vlogs from Sarasota in like late 2017 as opposed to Cape Coral, and then they asked if I wanted to come back. Yeah, an argument. She's quite an evil character. I just try to pretend like she doesn't really exist, to be honest. I just try to explain why there's no vlogs in Cape Coral from, you know, most of 2017. I actually had a lot of work I was doing up in the area. That's when I started doing the job in Miami in June of 2017. And I think the Della might actually work for Ashley's mom. I think is better chance of that. I probably shouldn't put all my personal stuff on YouTube, but some people get offended. Some people who do it, they regret it, they feel bad, but I just don't really care. If someone wants to judge me based off of, you know, being honest with them, then oh well. Good old riding on the wrong side of the road. Chelated means that it is it's bonded with some kind of God, I can't believe I don't know the definition of chelated. Basically means it's bonded in such a fashion that it'll bring itself out once it's been administered. I forget what chelated actually means, but that's what it actually will do. So, like chelated iron will basically, if you're trying to put something, it basically won't interact with anything until like it won't rust or something like that. It basically has created a compound that will bring itself into the soil once you water it. But I don't know what it's bonded with. Jesus, this guy's gonna drive right off the road. No, it's actually symbiotic, Dylan. And Eric, the question about when do things get in the seed? Most things most plants in Florida will set, like most sables will set seed September, October, and same with Cocoa Thrinax, and then Pseudophoenix usually is around this time. Like Pseudophoenix argentii is between January and now. I have someone that's actually has fruit that I have one friend in Cocoa Beach that had fruit ripen in like late December, and then another one that had fruit is still not ripe on, but it's the first time flat fruiting, so it might be for taking longer. But for the other palms, it's usually dependent on where they're native to. So most palms that are related to sables will also seed, like most Copernicias seed around that same time, like late fall, winter, but I've seen them also seed kind of whenever they want. Shiv, there should be instructions on the back of any fertilizer on how to use it, because it all depends on how it's been chelated or how it's been coated. Because some are like really fast release, and they'll give you a certain. There's still going to be palms that'll have seed on them. They'll start in September. I am familiar with Rhopalostyla sapida to the point where I'm upset about it because it won't grow here, and it's just too hot. There's some really nice ones in California, though. Car doesn't look like it's broken down. Yeah, probably. I actually had one. They'll grow in Florida in the wintertime. Yeah, Shift, that sounds like a good, any kind of micronutrient is good as like a backup, like in between feedings of fertilizer. Using a micronutrient in between is good because it's a low dosage, and it'll actually the roots have more ability to take in stuff in between feedings. So that's what I would recommend. Yeah, it sucks because when the stream goes out, there's people who just, illegal. Food? Oh, what am I eating for dinner? Probably Wawa. I don't know, I guess I could eat whatever I want. I was thinking a Wawa salad. Yeah, Ashley and I have been together for 4 years in April, but let's just say it's complicated. It's not really complicated, but I don't know if I'm fit for marriage. It's just something that I've chosen. My parents didn't really get along too well, so I don't think my dad was fit out for that either. So. Oh, we still love each other, enjoy each other's, company. And good. Yeah, I just I don't know how to best explain it. I've seen a lot of marriages go bad. A lot of my, besides my parents are obviously divorced, but my, some of my best friends in the plant world and other areas, they all gotten divorced. It's all been nasty, and I just don't. This guy's control your trailer, my friend. What is on top of that thing? Stomach is burning from eating Hooters wings. The thing about chicken wings is, see, when I'm just casually eating, like I'm not gonna go out somewhere nice. I want to eat something that I can enjoy. Like I want to just sit in front of the TV and watch something when I eat. I'm not gonna lie, I'm lazy like that. I'm gonna binge watch some show, and I want something that I can like enjoy for a while. So like salads take a while to eat. Like a cheeseburger, like I can eat that in 5 bites. It's like it's all over before it even started. I think part of what makes this vlog so nice is that it's the only live stream. Like when I do live stream, it's the only live stream where people from other countries in real time want to talk about palms, and we can all talk about it together. At Palm Talk, it's not in real time. Would you guys like it if I were to do like a interview vlog with like other people in the palm industry? Like if I do it with like Ken. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy talking. You guys get to talk to each other. I mean, I don't. That's cool. And I was gonna do it with my friend that I bought all the Psycats from. Is this from? No. But I just didn't get the chance. I really wasn't vlogging as much, but year and a half, 2 years ago, I started to more. But I'm going to be going to Miami, so I can probably get a couple, guys that I've known in the plant industry that are relatively well known, that would have some interesting insights. Like Ken is an expert on specimen palm. We can walk through his yard and he can talk about it. I did a little vlog with him about that. Guys, be a half a mile from my house, but I've never been there. I mean, I've been to that one. The last time I had Five Guys, I was in Miami Beach. I had just come out of a club, and I was really drunk. And my friend, I asked him to order me a double cheeseburger, and he got me a double cheeseburger with jalapenos. And I was obviously hungry, so I ate it. And just, my stomach was just not feeling it in the morning. So I wouldn't really call it a club. It was more just like a bar with like loud music. I wasn't really that well. I wasn't like dressed up like a club. Although I've seen a number of concerts down in Miami. Okay, Eric, have fun. Ooh, with the spine still on it. I mean, that can be a tasty fruit if you know what you're doing, but you know, spines aren't gonna taste good. It's actually popular Mexican cuisine. They eat puntia fried up and use like the fruit as like a jam sort of thing. Make it all. I don't particularly find it that tasty, but I guess if I'm in the desert and I need to eat something, I mean, it's better than nothing. So I don't think I've ever had the fruit. I'm sure it probably tastes something similar to I'm sure it's sweet because this desert's sitting there cooking it for the heat. They're not gonna. It's gonna kind of like reduce down, I guess you could say. I've tried a lot of weird fruit, and I've liked most of it. But some things like just smell or taste is too weird. Like, I don't know if you guys ever had durians, but they smell terrible. I don't know what people see in that. I can't eat that. But yeah, that's the gate. That's the entrance to Cape Coral. Yeah, if you get micronutrients, you should get it should have like 1% manganese in it. A way to remember manganese versus magnesium is so you get frizzle top with manganese. Cape Coral has about 185,000 people, but if you add in like the whole county, like the metropolitan area, which includes Fort Myers across the river, Lehigh Acres, North Fort Myers, you're looking at about 600,000 people. But even like 30 years ago, there's only probably like 150,000 people here. So it's like grown, it's blown up. Cape Coral only had about 70,000 people in 2000. To give you an idea. Maybe that was 1990. I can't remember. Tired, and I'm not really sure why. All right. I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, Cape Coral is such a large city, and it has very weird. They're definitely going to keep themselves separate. It's really like the Fort Myers, Cape Coral area is kind of a metro area. It's kind of all one town, separated by a river, and then you have the Naples, Bonita Springs kind of area, like Collier County. Altogether, it has about 1 million people in it. Then you have about another 1 million between Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, Northport, Venice, Sarasota, and Bradenton, the metro area there. And there's another 2 million people in the Tampa, 3 million in the Tampa St. Pete area, if it includes St. Pete as well. So there's 5 million people there on the southwest coast. And then there's about 7 million people in the southeast coast. It's just a lot of people. I like their club sandwiches too. You can use seaweed fertilizer for sure, Chief. Yeah, see, I want to live in a county where there's only 15,000 people. There's a couple of them around here, but it's literally the middle of nowhere, and it's hot, hot, hot. I can go up north a little bit and get to. I know. And Nashville has like 2.5 million of that alone, and Memphis probably has another 1.5 million. So they're like 3 million people. Maybe you don't want to live in those two major cities. Yeah, it is remote. I wouldn't mind being between like Houston and Corpus Christi, be kind of far away from people that I know, but I wouldn't want to live in like Brownsville. I have a friend who lives in Weslaco, which is about 20 miles west of Brownsville. I've visited his nursery. Yeah, that area is nice. I just want to live somewhere that has kind of like a cultural center about it. Oh yeah, it's booming for sure. I think people, the advent of air conditioning and the technology required to kind of like build cities where cities shouldn't have been built. I mean, I'm guilty of doing it too, but I think a lot of people move here to Florida and don't respect the environment, or their others, or people see it as a new opportunity, and so they kind of just like they just don't treat it right. They don't treat the people right. I wish it was just like 10 million Palm people. That would be great. All right, so we are approaching. I'm just so tired. I almost don't even want to go into Wawa. I don't know, it's because I'm hungry or. Oh, it's supposed to rain tonight here. Yeah, I lived in New York for a total of 13 years between living in just north of New York City and eastern New York City. I really don't miss it. It's very expensive to live there. The people are actually kind of cool in the sense that they really care about each other, in my opinion, even though they, really can be kind of like have an attitude. But that's where like my closest friends really are. And Virginia too is a great area. Totally different from New York, but a lot of the same qualities of community. I am. I was born in Manhattan, Shiv. I know. I don't sound like I don't have the accent or anything. Here we go. We got the spot in the house. God. Ashley just messaged me right when I. Oh, yeah. I've been to Central Park. Hold on, guys. I'm going to be going in here, so I'll be back in a few minutes. You guys can watch me wander around the store. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like some of the largest sprawls. Like a lot of, LA is a big city, but its skyscrapers uh, as there aren't as many as say Chicago, um, and New York. I'm trying to think of other cities that also have a ton of skyscrapers. Um, I mean, Miami has a fair share. There's a lot there, but it isn't like New York. I mean, some of the larger cities are kind of like Dallas and Houston are both really big, but they're Houston has a pretty decent skyline. Yeah, Chicago's pretty densely populated. New York City, you can drive for 2 hours and still be in pretty dense areas. It basically starts at New Brunswick, and then it goes all the way through New York City. All the way. Jesus Christ, this guy's wandering in traffic. He was inside Wawa too. He's gonna get himself hit. Washington is not as big as you would think it is. I mean, there's a lot of people there, but yeah, I don't think I could live in a large city again. Like almost fell asleep in there. I'm so tired. Yeah, I complain about Miami traffic, and honestly, it's not nowhere near as bad as New York City traffic. I've never been at a standstill in Miami before, and that's pretty regular. I mean, I don't know if it's sad, but I just don't really have a desire to want to go back to New York City. But yeah, shift in the U.S. I don't know what percentage I would say, but it's a very decent percentage of convenience stores are owned. I've actually taken a class in Indian history, and I know a lot of the reasons why they choose to own stores like that. But I would say it's at least like 30 to 40% are probably owned by of convenience stores that are not franchises, are owned by people of Indian ethnicity. Wow, I didn't know it was that bad in Chicago. Orlando is not that big of a city, but it has really bad. Some of these small, like Orlando is known for its terrible traffic because it's not the actual population; it's the fact that there's so many tourist destinations, and it's so unpredictable. You just don't never know what you're going to run into because every place has a different theme going on, different time of day. I mean, I've been stuck in bumper to bumper, almost standstill traffic on I-4 outside of Orlando at 3 o'clock in the morning. And there was no real reason. I couldn't find the reason why that happened. If you want to go from one side of Orlando to another, it's definitely an hour and a half, and it's only 30 miles. And people just deal with it. I just could never do that, like especially 5 days a week. I mean, I could get on the highway, and if I just wanted to fly, I could get from my mom's place to my house in an hour, and that's about 60 miles. Maybe it's a little less. Maybe it's like 50 miles, 55. Yeah, Cook County, man, that's I think it's the second most populated county in the nation besides LA County. There's a lot of guys from Chicago down here, and they never seem to want to go back, or they do, rarely if they want to see family. Yeah, I see that in Miami. A lot of new skylines, cranes. One thing you guys, I've never really mentioned because it's a little, I don't know if it's embarrassing or just something I just don't really bring up, but since right before I started this vlog, I actually was in a car accident where I was rear-ended by a drunk driver, and my neck has kind of been like, it's very weird. It kind of just, it tightens up, it'll burn. I've never quite been able to get it properly fixed, I guess you could say. I don't know, or it can even be even through physical therapy. I have a hypersensitivity to altitude, so like if I go up on in a hotel, like I won't go up above the third or fourth floor. I had to go up to the top floor of a 12th floor kind of low rise building in Coral Gables and to pick up something up, and I was like almost crawling. I just couldn't really handle it. I was just getting a terrible case of like vertigo. Yeah, James, I'm still here. Yeah, I know. It just, those mega cities, I can't do it. I need to have some open space. I'm just gonna move somewhere where I know it's not gonna happen. When I went to Louisiana, I saw some pretty cool areas that would be good for. I'm pretty sure that New Mexico is the home of the Manhattan Project. Yeah, I'm almost home actually. I've got 2 more stoplights. I'll probably talk for a minute or two in the car though. Yeah, that's a good reason to live in a city like that. If you can save up money, it's pretty hard to find a 6-figure salary job here unless you're a lawyer or a doctor. Most jobs that would pay 6 figures in New York or Chicago probably pay like 50, 60,000 here. I mean, I remember even as early as as late as like 5 years ago, I had friends that had 2-bedroom apartments for like $675 a month. Some pretty killer deals out there. And Nashville is a rapidly developing city. $20,000 a month, man. That's. I mean, I've seen some Manhattan rent. I've seen some pretty sick places in Manhattan that rent for that amount. And yeah, it's really. I know that Gold Coast area you're talking about. I just, I feel like a lot of people who do that, that work those jobs, man, they give up a lot of their free time. And to me, like, my free time is more important than money. And I try to like keep it more like stress free. That's why I like doing what I do. I feel like a lot of people, they work themselves to death to make that kind of money. Yeah, 200 square feet is about it. I had to give you an idea. I had the condo that I had on the beach. I literally could walk 100 yards to the dunes. It was 240 square feet. It was an old motel converted into condos, just like a studio with a bathroom. I mean, it had a full kitchen in it and everything, but I paid $600 a month for it, all inclusive. You couldn't do that now. That was in 2015, but I know people who would pay like they pay like 1,700 a month for it now. Just sad. As unhappy with Ashley's mother, she actually when it comes to living there. So yeah, that's what I think. Life is too short to work it away. I mean, obviously, people, working, getting out and doing stuff is good. I think it's actually 7.50. It might be 8.25 now. Yeah, it might be $8.25. When I was 16, minimum wage was 5.25, and I made 5.50 an hour washing dishes in a restaurant. In Florida, I think it's 8.25 as well. Oh, we've got a group of. Is that Emma and Ashley? No, I don't know. It's some of my neighbors getting crazy up. I asked Ashley to move those fucking pots. Damn it. I'll show you guys what I've been up to. Hey, Chris, I just got home. But I'll sit here and talk for a few minutes. I'm not in any rush. I am home, yes. But I will talk. Wow, that's good. That's like 22 US, something like that. Everybody showed up late to the party here. I'll still talk though. I'll show you guys a few things that's going on. A few things that are going on. I would do that right now. Actually, no. $1.25 a mile. That's not too bad. 17 there, yeah. 18.22. Okay, so that's like $14 an hour. That's still pretty good though. 17. Yeah, I can't imagine even at 17 an hour that it's hard to make a living. I would scream it if I didn't have people next to me like wondering who I was because they're neighbors and they'd be like, "Your neighbor's screaming, honey, I'm home." Okay, well that's good money then. Yeah, 850 is just people will I'm sure everybody that works in the fast food industry and a lot of low skill labor are gonna get. Yeah, Illinois and California share some laws and some things that are very prohibitive. I don't think I could ever live with. I could live in Nevada or Arizona. Don't get me wrong, California is beautiful, but New York is kind of the same way. My dad actually had an apartment on Wall Street back in 1977, 78 when he met my mother. And it was like maybe 300 square feet, and he paid 1,500 a month back then. That was 40 years ago. So, all right, hot boxing this car a little too much. Where's my man? Just right after I. Oh, where are you? I'll show you guys what I'm up to with the seeds real quick, and then I'll have to get off of here. Where's my thingy? There we go. What just happened here? Rotate device. Why would I rotate the device? Hold on a sec. Can you guys? I don't know why. Oh, you're good. Okay. It just says rotate device, and so I'm seeing this weird. I'll show you guys real quick what's going on. Oh. There's Ashley's filthy car. This is what happens to cars in Florida. See all the sun fading? No rust or anything around the wheels, but so. Oh, she did do it. So here we have Sable Causiarum, Sable Marittima, and then we have Sable Bermudana, and then these are Livingstone Alfredii. Let's see if some of these are German here. It's been kind of hot, so I've leaving these out, hoping that they're gonna do something. Got some Hyphani seed. 70K is enough. These are my baggies of Livingstone Alfredii that they cook during the day. Probably gets up to 100 in there. But yeah. So that's about it. Yeah, keep them in the open sun so that they really cook. It's been pretty warm here lately. So anyway, guys, I'm pretty beat. I'm gonna let you guys go. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I got another vlog to send you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Oh, I water them. It depends on if it rains. If it doesn't rain, I water them probably every other day. See you later, Zach. See you, Chris. See you, Shiv. I'll talk to you on email. Alrighty. Yeah, Dylan. Look forward to that. See you guys.